Holly Gregory, and this is your Spectrum News in 90. The latest CDC data shows Florida added just over 58,000 new COVID-19 cases Wednesday. It's the biggest spike we've seen. Officials attribute it to the transmissibility of the new Omicron variant and more people getting tested for the holidays. We have seen pretty long lines at those testing sites this week. Many are getting checked out after meeting with family for Christmas, while others are trying to get tested before New Year's celebrations. Some sites will be closed this weekend because of the holiday. Officials say the best thing to do is to check out your local testing site online to see if it is open. This year's Epiphany celebration in Tarpon Springs will be open to the public. Had to be scaled back last year due to the pandemic, but officials say there's no attendance restrictions in place for this year. Epiphany is on January 6th. That's your latest news. Time now for your forecast.
Meteorologist Diane Kaczmarek, same pattern, same air mass, so we're back to that morning fog, so that will still be an issue early in the morning, but it will start burning off about 8 o'clock, and then the visibilities start to improve. These are the visibilities shown here, so they'll get better as we go in through the day, and then we have the sunshine. But we start out in the morning with 68 in Tampa, 66 Bradenton, low 60s north. Stays warm with these high dew points. We just don't cool off much.
Our top story tonight, the case numbers are staggering. Omicron is spreading at record-breaking rates. According to the CDC, Florida saw just over 58,000 new cases reported yesterday. Here is data from the last couple of days from the CDC. The big spikes are a combination of Omicron's transmissibility and more people getting tested for the holidays. And you probably have seen those long lines at testing sites all across the Bay Area. A few new sites opened up today to help get more people through. But as you can see, still plenty of people there at the testing sites today. One of the newest locations at Progress Village in Tampa even had to close early because they hit capacity at about 2:30 in the afternoon. Some waiting in line told us they were trying to get tested to make sure they didn't catch anything over Christmas, while others are trying to make sure that they're safe ahead of the new year.
New Year's Eve is coming up, so I just want to get tested to make sure that if I'm going to a party with my friends, I'm not passing it on to them.
Some sites will be closed over the next 2 days due to the holiday. Officials say the best thing to do is to check out your local testing site online to see if it is open. An update on booster shots tonight. The FDA is expected to expand eligibility for Pfizer's COVID-19 booster in the coming days. 12 to 15-year-olds could soon be able to get booster shots. The wait time for booster shots is also expected to change. Rather than 6 months, it's expected to drop to 5. Boosters for kids ages 5 to 11 are also expected to be approved, but for that age group, it will only be for those with immune deficiencies. Officials say Pfizer's 2-dose vaccine does not provide sufficient protection against infection from Omicron, but it does protect against severe illness from it. Studies show that Pfizer's booster increased the protection significantly. The CDC director will have the final say in approving boosters. This year's Epiphany celebration will once again be open to the public. Last year, the event was scaled back because of the pandemic, but there are no attendance restrictions in place this year. The Tarpon Springs event traditionally draws more than 20,000 spectators. It is considered the largest Epiphany celebration in the Western Hemisphere. The 116th Epiphany celebration is set for January 6th, and we will have live coverage for you throughout the day right here on Spectrum Bay News 9. The Outback Bowl is Saturday at Ray J, and all week long, Arkansas and Penn State players, coaches, and fans have been out enjoying everything the Bay Area has to offer. The biggest event leading up to the game is Beach Day. Spectrum Sports 360's Chris Torello was there for a day of fans, fun, and music. The Pinellas County School Board race is heating up. There are 10 names, but just 4 spots on the ballot. And coming up after the break, we introduce you to one of those candidates aiming to make a difference in schools.
Meteorologist Diane Kaczmarek. We're still in our holiday season, so Winter Village is going on, still in downtown Tampa. You have a little while longer where you can do that ice skating outside and getting to view lights and even the shops during the day. Something fun to do. and an outside activity. Areas of fog to start Friday morning, or some low clouds in some spots. But either way, the fog will start lifting out and become low clouds before it disappears. 68 degrees in the morning for Tampa, near 60 north. After the morning fog, we get the sunshine to come back in the afternoon, so we get all the way back to 82, even a little warmer in some spots. It will be cooler at the coast because we'll have more of an onshore wind, so temperatures there will stay into the 70s. So moving ahead into our new year, Saturday is New Year's Day. We will be in the 80s. And then on Sunday, as some clouds come in, we might keep our temperatures down a little bit, plus more of an onshore wind will cool the coast down. But our chances for rain will hold off until closer to the evening. We'll check out our 7-day in the next 10 minutes. Now here's Klystron 9.
Here are your winning lottery numbers.
New video out of Colorado tonight. Take a look at this. The sky glowing orange in Boulder County due to the fast-moving wildfires in that area. At least 2 communities in the area are under mandatory evacuation orders. Colorado's governor has declared a state of emergency. Officials say the fires were likely started by downed power lines. Firefighters say several hundred homes, a hotel, and a shopping center have burned in these fires so far. There have been a few reports of injuries, but there's no word of just how serious they are. President Joe Biden is urging Russian President Vladimir Putin to de-escalate conflict with Ukraine. The 2 leaders spoke on the phone for about an hour today. The conversation comes amid growing tensions between Russia and Ukraine as Russia continues to build up its military forces near the shared border. It's a similar situation to when Russia invaded Crimea in 2014. President Biden also made clear the U.S. is willing to impose sanctions against Russia if it does invade Ukraine again. He says progress between the 2 nations can only come in an environment of de-escalation rather than escalation. This year's improved jobless numbers mean fewer weeks of unemployment benefits next year. The Florida Department of Economic Opportunity announced Floridians laid off in the new year will get 7 fewer weeks of benefits. However, the payments themselves won't change. They're still at $275. But rather than 19 weeks of benefits, it has dropped to 12. That's per state law. If unemployment is at or below 5%, it must be just 12 weeks of benefits. And right now, unemployment has fallen to 4.5% in Florida. After a year of contentious debates over things like mask mandates and curriculums regarding race, interest in local school board races is intensifying. In Pinellas County, 10 people have already filed to run for the 4 seats on the ballot next year, including one longtime Pinellas County school teacher who says he can bring his experience to this race. Spectrum Bay News 9's Mitch Perry reports. Up next, Christmas is for the goat. No, not Tom Brady. These goats. Actual goats who look forward to the end of Christmas the most. We'll tell you why after the break.
Meteorologist Diane Katchmarek, as we know the fog is an issue here. In the next couple of days it will be. At sunset time, Jack got a view of some of the sea fog from St. Pete Beach. And then we head to the Sun Coast. Same thing, we'll deal with some sea fog around as dew points, temperatures are matching the water temperatures or going a little above. So south-southeast and then south about 5 to 13 miles per hour. So for the morning, we are looking at areas of fog and low clouds. Our temperatures stay up there again in the upper 60s around Tampa to low 60s in areas north. Then for Friday, we will see temperatures inland getting into those 80s, but a southwest wind at the coast will cool us off a little bit in the coastal areas. So a lot of highs will stay in the upper 70s, including at our beaches. So next couple of days. Saturday, which is New Year's Day, we will start out with some morning fog and then end up with sunshine. Still warm and humid into Sunday. 40% chance for showers late in the day. Sunday into the night and then gone by Monday. Cooling off. We get a high of only 63, so it will chill down and it will be windy. And then Tuesday morning, we're still cool. We warm up to 71. By Wednesday, we're back to normal highs in the mid-70s. Here's a look now at your pollen forecast brought to you by Famous Tate Appliance and Bedding Centers. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday right around 10. Here's Clystron 9.
Christmas is over, but the Grady Goat Foundation is still accepting gifts for their goats. And the best part is, it's probably something you're going to throw away anyway. As Spectrum Bay News 9's Ashley Paul reports, one man's trash could be another goat's treasure. I'm Holly Gregory, and this is your Spectrum News in 90. No serious injuries were reported after an apartment fire in Lakeland, but a few people were taken to the hospital as a precaution. No flames were visible when crews arrived, but there was a lot of smoke. No word yet on what caused it, but officials don't think this fire was set intentionally. Publix will offer paid parental leave to new parents starting in the new year. This will be available for eligible full or part-time workers after the birth or adoption of a child. The company didn't specify how much time off would be available. And if you're hoping to grab a last-minute spot at Disney World to ring in the new year, afraid you're out of luck. Disney World is out of reservations for New Year's Eve. There are still a few reservations available, though, for next week, but only at some of their parks. And that is your latest news. Time now for your forecast.
Meteorologist Diane Kaczmarek. Very similar morning starting up. We will have lows staying in the 60s because of the high dew points, but yes, you see fog, so visibility will be down in the morning. Be very careful driving. So these temperatures are well above normal. So not bad at the beach, even warm in the morning. So by afternoon, we will see the sunshine, south and then a southwest wind, about 6 to 12 miles per hour. Water temperature at 72 means it will be cooler at our beaches compared to inland for the afternoon.
As Omicron cases continue to climb across Florida and around the country, many people are rethinking big holiday gatherings and masking up when they head into businesses and restaurants. Spectrum Bay News 9's Rachel Krause spoke with an epidemiologist at UCF who says that case number will continue to climb in the weeks to come. An apartment building in Lakeland was evacuated this morning because of a fire. Crews say it appears that fire started on the second floor of the Lakewood Terrace apartments. No flames were visible, but there was a lot of smoke. A few tenants and 4 firefighters were taken to the hospital for monitoring as a precaution. No word yet on what started this, but investigators say the fire does not appear to be intentional. Publix will offer paid parental leave to new parents. That's according to our partners, the Tampa Bay Times. Eligible full and part-time workers will have the option to take time off after the birth or adoption of a child. It's a big perk for employees at a time when employers are having a tough time hiring. The Times reports this will start with the new year. Details about how much time off will be available were not released. Tributes are still ongoing for Archbishop Desmond Tutu in South Africa. The anti-apartheid hero died on Sunday at 90 years old. Just yesterday, an interfaith tribute was held for him in Cape Town. And you can see the remembrances continue today with an ever-growing memorial filled with flowers, flags, and letters. If you were hoping to snag a last-minute holiday reservation at Disney World, you're out of luck. According to the park's website, they have run out of reservations for New Year's Eve. It's not unusual, really, since the holidays are typically busy this time of year. According to our partners, the Tampa Bay Times, Disney hasn't said specifically what the capacity limit is right now, but they have been gradually increasing crowds over the last few months. An incredible story of survival coming up after the break. After 3 months, a man who battled COVID and won is taking his very first steps out of the hospital. We were there for it. Stay with us for his story.
Meteorologist Diane Kaczmarek. We're about to finish up the year, so let's look at the rainfall in 2021 across the state. Tampa, a little over 49 inches of rain. Not far behind Bradenton at 46 3/4, 46 Orlando, about 40 in Melbourne. We see some totals down through South Florida, though, only in the 30s. And then on the other hand, you look at the Panhandle, and that's due to tropical features. We see from Apalachicola into Pensacola, in fact, 75 to even 88 inches of rain. So big difference compared to here and even in South Florida. So how does that compare to what's normal for the year? Well, guess what? How about this? Tampa is going to wind up just about right on the mark for being exactly the rainfall we get as an average. Bradenton, just a couple of inches below. Orlando, only about 5, so not far in Central Florida, all across, that's pretty close to normal. We're below normal in South Florida and then way above across the Panhandle. Well, so at 7 a.m., some fog and low clouds, 68 degrees in Tampa, near 60 north. And then we see that sunshine come back and we get to around 82 for the afternoon. So spots inland might be a little warmer, closer to the coast a little bit cooler. Next front that is moving through far to our north has the threat for severe storms through Friday. So that would be including areas from Oklahoma, northeast Texas, all the way up into Tennessee and southern Kentucky with the risk for severe thunderstorms. And then we have snowfall. We have wind and snow going across the Rockies. So that still adds up. Then rounds of snow start pulling out to the middle part of the country, maybe some freezing rain, mixed precipitation, parts of Oklahoma going through Saturday. Then that moves in toward New England. So if you have any travel plans, keep that in mind. We'll look at our 7-day in the next 10 minutes. Here's Claystron 9.
Months. That is how long a Central Florida man was in a coma battling COVID-19 in the hospital. Doctors say most people intubated that long don't survive, but he did. Spectrum Bay News 9's Jeff Allen talks to him as he left the hospital today for the first time since August. As we wrap up this year, it's a time when many look back and reflect. So we're going to look back at some of our best stories of 2021 and let you know how some members of our community are doing since we last spoke. Like a Bay Area man who lived 70 years without ever knowing he had a brother.
We're still finding out more stuff, but everything we find out just adds to it.
Friends and family keep asking me sometimes, like this week, are you going to Tampa with your brother? And when I hear with my brother, it's like, it's good, but it's strange, because for 70 years I'd never heard that.
Tomorrow on New Year's Eve, we will show you some of the most heartwarming, memorable, and inspiring stories of 2021 in our Tampa Bay Inspires. It's at 7 p.m. You don't want to miss it. There's still time to show off some festive Bay Area homes. Tonight's holiday lights are found on Harbor Lake Circle, that's in Safety Harbor, and it is a huge display. Lots of folks out there having fun, a snow machine here. You've got the Griswold family, there's Alfie from A Christmas Story. They call themselves Harbor Oaks Santa, and they want to promote Safety Harbor's beautiful Christmas lights. It does look great. Happy holidays from all of us here, and Happy New Year from Spectrum Bay News 9.
Holiday Lights, brought to you by WeatherTight Windows.
Coming up in tonight's Priority Health Report, the FDA says your at-home COVID-19 test might not pick up an Omicron infection as easily as it would other variants. Why the agency, though, says these tests are still useful. Just ahead. And then at the top of the hour, long lines at testing sites around the Bay Area yet again today. We'll show you the longest and shortest wait times we could find. Just ahead.
Well, despite having an injury report as long as a CBS receipt, the Lightning continue to win. The Bolts, winners of 5 straight, making a quick trip to South Florida Thursday night for a big game against the Panthers, who sit right behind them in the division standings. Tampa Bay returns home for New Year's Eve to take on the Rangers. Puck drop is at 7 p.m. Reporting for Spectrum Bay News 9, I'm Kenny Morales.
I'm just Diane Katchmarek. As for the weather story, well, we're warmer than normal and muggy. And with those high dew points, that's been setting us up for some morning fog. So above normal temperatures will continue until we get a front through. But we do finally get that front through. Cold front Sunday night. So Monday will cool down. So you can keep the jackets put away until then. And you might need those for a little while after that front comes through. So we go through the day, and yeah, how about our day is going to be similar Friday into Saturday, because now we're talking New Year's Day. And we have the Outback Bowl in town. So that would be Penn State and Arkansas tailgating, about 70 degrees, not even cool in the morning. So you can wear the shorts to the game, kickoff at noon, about 79 degrees already. Game finishes up at 82, and then we cool off a little bit right after that. So boating for you. We're looking at our winds south-southeast, again, that southerly direction, and then becoming south at 5 to 13 knots. So there will be some sea fog to deal with that might move back on this coast again by sunset time. So temperatures in the 80s the next couple of days into New Year. And then we have Sunday late in the day. 40% chance for some showers, maybe even some thunderstorms coming in, and a line ahead of the front. Front comes through. We cool down for Monday. We stay cool in through Tuesday, but by Wednesday we're already back with temperatures at least around the normal mark, and we stay dry in through Thursday. Here's Klystron 9.
In tonight's Priority Health Report, the FDA says some at-home COVID-19 tests may be less sensitive in picking up the Omicron variant. But officials say that these tests are still a useful tool. The FDA says the tests are still capable of picking up Omicron. They just aren't as sensitive to it. So it's likely the at-home tests are less accurate when it comes to detecting Omicron. Officials say once they know more, they'll be able to adjust the at-home tests. The at-home antigen tests are generally less sensitive than the PCR tests, like what you would get at a testing site. But the antigen tests are quicker, they're cheaper, and easier to perform, so they still serve a purpose. If you're unsure about the results you get, though, you should still follow up with a more accurate PCR test. And as always, we have health news for you around the clock on BayNews9.com and our Spectrum News app. Stay with us now through the top of the hour for today's headlines and your weather on the 9s.
Here's what's going on in our community.
Brought to you by the Golden Diamond Source.